Alright guys, it is 2:05. If anyone is going to join us, they'll just be a little late, which is cool with me. I do record these sessions. I also put that in the announcement, so if there is ever a time that you cannot make the live session, although I will miss you tremendously, I do record the sessions, and as soon as the video renders, I will post it up on under announcements. So you can watch at your convenience. You can review if you need to review any of our sections, if you need help with um, say any of the assignments or a conversation that we had that you want to go back to. You guys will have complete access to the video library. So I hope that that's cool with you all. I am going to unmute your mics for a few minutes. If it is not so bad that we can talk to each other, then I'll keep them open. If not, when we go into conversation, I see Leroy knows how to use the raise hand function. You could always raise your hand, and I will be more than happy to make your mic hot and we can talk. So before we do that, I just want to welcome you guys to Full Sail. You have made an amazing choice for yourself. It's This school is going to open up so much possibilities to you. You can't even imagine, and it really is up to you as the individual to take these tools and take these strategies and run with them. Take advantage of everything that you have in front of you. Take advantage of all this creativity that surrounds you. Reach out, connect, communicate. That's what it's all about. If you want to survive in this industry, it's communication, it's networking, it's making yourself visible. It's all about that. So connect with each other. Get over the fact that you are an online student. Doesn't mean that you are disconnected from Full Sail. It should mean that you are more connected. Um, the fact that technology has evolved so much and come so far and allowed, I'll just take my experience, allowed me to become a teacher of students all over the world. I'm talking not just in the United States, but overseas, and have the ability to connect and inspire them. Um, it's what wakes me up in the morning, and I just can't wait to do it. What you guys have is amazing, and you need to utilize all these tools to your advantage. So with that said, I'm going to unmute the mics and I want you all to say hello to each other. So here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
There you go, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so you can... Awesome. Okay, that is amazing, but you could see how it's kind of a train wreck when we unmute all the mics at once. Even though there isn't as many people in here as you would see in a global session, it still gets kind of crazy. We're all in different parts. We may have kids in the background, we may have dogs. I'm actually sitting outside in what we call the Zen Garden here at Full Sail. It's a gorgeous day, so I figured I'd do this from the outside. So don't be surprised if you hear a plane going by, or you hear conversations, or even the transport people on campus. But okay, so why did I bring you here today? Really to welcome you, to give you an idea of who I am, to get to know you guys a little bit, and you are definitely going to have a chance to talk. You did not have to sit here the whole time and listen to me speak. So don't worry about that. And I guess I will, if you want, by the end we can all show our screens, and you can find out that I am human. I'm not just someone on the other side of the computer. I have flesh. I'm a real person. So we can do that a little bit later. I'm gonna run through the course with you guys. I'm gonna go a little in depth, more in depth with Digo. It's something, if you have gone to the global sessions already, it is mentioned there, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth and um, relate it back to the instructions for the first assignment and the rubric, and show you a little tips of what you could do to make the most out of the assets that you have and be very successful at it. And then I'll give you some general tips on how as a Full Sail student can you survive this very rigorous and extensive course study. And then I'll open up for questions and answers as always. I love to hear from you. Okay, so first thing I want to do, I'm gonna let you guys go first, and then I'll introduce myself. Um, what I want to know when right off the bat is, who are you? What made you come to Full Sail? What made you make the decision to further your education? So what I'm gonna do, because I know sometimes this could take up a lot of time, and by all means, I love to get connected with you guys and know who you are, but just because the first session is very heavy in content, um, I came up with a couple of questions that you can choose, and it says at the top, pick one. So you could choose to speak about a future goal that you have, an accomplishment that you made in your life, a certain change you would like to see or make with, with your education and newfound knowledge, someone you look up to and why, or who was your favorite teacher and mentor and why. Um, so, any takers? Do we have someone that would like to go first? Leo, I have seen your hand up the whole time. Does that mean that you still want to speak? Okay, I saw Corey's hand go up. Leo, just type in the text bar if you would like to go next. Hello, Corey. Nice to meet you. Your mic is
Nice to
hot.
meet you too.
So go ahead, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Corey Gregg. I'm originally from New York, but I live now in Richmond, Virginia. I've been making music since 1996. I started out as a local producer. One of my mentors is my cousin, DJ Scratch. One of my accomplishments I've made is I've previously went to ECPI and I have my network security degree. So I was able to work overseas for 2 years for the military as a government contractor. And while doing that, I traveled to different countries and listened to all the different types of music, and my love for music has grown ever since then. And that happened back in 2000, I want to say 2005, 2006. So just a
Awesome.
little bit about me.
Awesome. And I, you're from my hometown, if you couldn't notice in my voice. Um, but yeah, I get homesick sometimes, but I get to travel back and forth. It's not that bad. For being here in Florida now and going up to New York, it's not that bad. So,
I would rather be in Florida. I love the weather down there.
oh, it is beautiful. We're coming into the heat now, um, but I will take this heat over the snow, the ice, the sleet, the cold, any day. Any day.
Exactly.
Exactly. Well, very nice to meet you, Corey. I hope you stay in contact with me and come to a lot of these sessions. And
Thank
thank
you.
you for
Appreciate it.
being the first. Cool. Okay, Leroy. I'm gonna unmute you. Hi, Leroy.
Okay. How's it going?
Great. How are you?
Good. The accomplishment that I've made in my life was actually serving 20 plus years in the United States Air Force. And what I hope to get from this, one is a degree and some more knowledge on graphic arts. And
Sweet.
I'm over here in Germany right now and I work for the Army, so
Wow.
I'm one of your students that are a long way across the ocean.
Well, that's awesome, and I just want to thank you for your time and your service. It's why I'm here and I'm able to have the freedom to talk to you guys and to teach. So I just want to thank you for the service that you provide for my freedom and everybody here.
No problem. Still serving though, working for the Army, so
Oh,
haven't given it all the way up yet.
well, bless you. Thank you. Okay, we got Brad. Hi, Brad. How are you? Okay, there you go.
Hello? All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was still muted on my side. So, I'm Brad. I go by B-Rad or B-Radley. I'm actually a DJ, a wedding DJ right now. Well, I don't anymore. I'm a disabled veteran. I can't do anything right now. The VA's got me on strict details. So, um, I'm actually going here. I want to open up a nonprofit organization when I get through with Full Sail. I want to open up an art school to teach kids all kinds of art forms, drawing, painting, music, theater, anything they want to learn. So that's what I hope to get out of this.
That's amazing, Brad. And thank you for your time and your service. Teaching is just so rewarding. There really isn't words in the English language to profess that, and I totally support you, and I hope that you will keep in touch with me far from DGL and let me know how that works out, because that's just a beautiful thing. And
I definitely will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, I got to take off.
Okay, I totally understand. Have a good day. Okay, Ben. Hello, Ben. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Excellent.
Wonderful. Okay. My future goal is to be able to record music for myself and also for other people. I've been making music for about 3 years now, but I've been playing for 8, almost 9 years. So yeah, my major is in music production, and that's what I hope to do with it.
Excellent. Well, I think you're at the right place. Make sure you stay connected, and it's unreal the people that you will have to collaborate and network with. It's unreal. So stay connected as much as you can.
All right, I will.
Cool. Okay, Megan. Hello, Megan. It's so nice to have you here.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You have something
Okay.
going on in the background, though.
Just stuff. My name is Megan Svedland, and I'm 25 years old. I love writing and music and fantasy fiction, and my future goal that I have is to design and produce my own RPG style of video game by hopefully 2018 or 2020, something that would possibly compete with World of Warcraft and be known all around the world. I'm just such a big fan of the gaming industry, and I want to be a part of that growing industry.
Wow, that's awesome. Is your focus PC games, or do you play any of the systems out there?
I I want to start with PC, but like what Diablo 3 is doing, moving over to console, I would like to bridge that gap and make it available for PC and console gamers alike, and make it so that they're not so separate in the future.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you have any favorites?
Um, I like the Elder Scrolls series, which is console. I play Diablo 2, and I'm trying to get Diablo 3, which for PC or console. Um, I'm just a real big fan of just the fantasy role RPG style. Like I love Skyrim. Skyrim is one of my favorites.
Wow, more power to you, girl. I tried that. It's so involved. It is so involved. But
yeah, that's what I love about it. It's just so in depth, and there's just hours and hours and hours of play.
wow, that's awesome. Well, I look forward to what you have to bring to you this month, and I would love to bounce some ideas off of you if you wanted to.
I would love that.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Anyone else? So I guess it's my turn. Is that what you're saying? It's my turn? Okay. Well, I'm Trish Pearson. I'm going to be your instructor for your very first month here at Full Sail. I totally understand both your excitement, your anxiety, and your overwhelmingness, if I boldly speak. My background is that I was a high school teacher. I taught English literature for both seniors and juniors. Seniors mostly. I didn't get juniors until my last 2 years. But it was pretty awesome. I do miss my seniors. I don't miss the public school system, if that makes sense. If you know anything that's going on in there. I graduated from Full Sail University through the Education, Media Design, and Technology program in 2010. And I'm now here in front of you guys. I just celebrated my 2-year anniversary with Full Sail in March 1st. I'm so excited to be here. I can't even tell you how excited I am to actually be at the place where I went through the program. But much like you, I took the master's program online, so I was doing it while I was a full-time teacher, and English teacher, so you can imagine the amount of papers that I needed to grade, and grooming the future of our nation. So I'm with you. I totally understand how you could be overwhelmed. I understand how you could be excited. Just know that you have a network of people that are here to support you, myself being one of them. So you have my contact information there. The phone number at the top is the office phone. You'll notice, if you haven't already, notice on the interface I have office hours. And there are some times that I'm on campus, and there are some times that I'm on a remote island in the Bahamas. Just kidding. I wish. But I teach remotely, so then you would use my Google Voice number. I have my email listed, and then I also have an IM if you guys have an AIM account or a chat system. It depends on what platform you have. Either you're a Mac or a PC, and there are several ways that you can get chat for that. Okay? Note that many of the instructors do not hold weekend office hours. However, there is a DJL helpline set up for you that you can contact through AIM, and there's hours both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is 11 to 7 and Sunday is 1 to 9, and this is supposed to accommodate the fact that we have both East Coast and West Coast and in between students. And as you saw with Brad, we even have overseas students. So it's kind of in the middle of a nice spread of hours that you could get in touch with us. So cool. I did give up the fact that I'm from New York. I don't know if you could hear it in my voice. Sometimes it comes out stronger than others. If you hear it come out stronger, you should be nervous because it comes out heavier when I'm mad. But I don't get mad often. Anger is definitely a wasted emotion for me. So you'll find that I'm pretty laid back. Although my pet peeve is taking advantage of my kindness. That's my only pet peeve. Okay, so student expectations. I like to set up my classroom. I'm also a campus instructor, so I'm a hybrid. I teach on campus and I teach online. And I like to stress the fact that come into this with an open mind and a positive attitude. If you come in with an open mind, it's just going to make you more porous to obtaining more information. Everyone is going to have an opinion. That's what makes this country, that's what makes humans awesome, because it is not mundane, it's not the same. Some people view that as they get defensive and they view opinions as people preaching to them. I want you to kind of think about changing your perspective on that. Listening to other people's opinion, it may just change your perspective. And if you look at it like, I'm gonna open my mind and I'm gonna hear what this person has to say, and you may gain something that you never thought imaginable. So that's what I mean about having an open mind. Just listen. You have all this diversity around you, and it could change your perception or perspective of things. And having a positive attitude, like speaking as if you were smiling, it makes such a difference. It makes the difference. The way that people respond to you. And I say this even when you write an email. Write an email smiling, and it makes a world of difference with the message that you're trying to convey. Ask questions. There isn't any dumb questions. I know that some people think and they're very hesitant in asking questions, but I will tell you that I was at your position when I started Full Sail, and at that time we received many of our programs and our laptops like right off the bat. And I was excited, like I was a 5-year-old on Christmas morning, but I was also very overwhelmed, like, oh my god, how am I gonna learn all this? I don't understand. So nothing is a dumb question because you are learning this interface for the first time. Many of you are first-time college students. Many of you are first-time online college students. So ask those questions. It may not be something that you are aware of, and it might be simple as taking a screenshot or how do I delete a post or something like that. And although it might seem like that's a minor thing, it could be major in getting yourself organized and getting things done. So do not worry about asking questions. Always ask questions. I'm here to help you. Take action in your education. It's really what you get out of it is what a direct result of what you put into it. So if you put in your heart and soul, your blood, sweat, and your tears, that's what you're going to get out of it. I'm going to give you 110%, if not more than that. And it's because it's my passion, it's what I love, and you will get that and you will receive that from me. And it's one of the things is because I'm a student at heart, I'm a learner first, and I feel that I can learn as much from you guys as you can from me. So the more effort that you put into it, the more knowledge you're going to get, the more enriching this whole experience is going to be for you. Okay, expectations of DGL. So just to reiterate, and again, these slides are kind of just the background. I usually just speak off the cuff, but some people are visual people, so these slides are there for you. I'm always there to lend a helping hand. I'm going to be available to you, especially during mid-office hours. Know that although I could be a superhero, it and be on point 24/7, I am only human. So there are set office hours and times that you could get in touch with me, but you could expect, like, if you email me, you could expect a pretty quick turnaround on email. The standard is 24 hours, and normally that is not the case. I'm pretty OCD when it comes to emails, and now with the new interface with all the notifications, I'm pretty quick to get back to you. So conversate with me. One of my favorite things to do is to make my cup of coffee in the morning and go on the discussion boards if you haven't seen already. And I'm very impressed thus far. I think the proactivity of both sections that I have has been amazing, and I really hope that it gets contagious and it stays consistent, because it's really something I love to do. I love to connect, and it's something on campus that I get to do a lot of the time. We get to have discussions with each other, and I want you guys to have the same experience. The discussion boards is where it's at. That's where most of the communication is going to be. It's going to be in these live sessions, so make the most out of everything. Okay, now, digital literacy. When you open up your computer and you went on the FSO platform for the first time and you saw that this class was called DGL, or aka Digital Literacy, did anyone have a big, huge question mark over their head as to what is digital literacy? So I want to ask you guys, what did you think when you first saw that? What did you think digital literacy meant? And if you want to take a crack at it, raise your hand. And Levi, I said intro to computers, which yeah, that's a part of it, definitely. Okay, Leroy, you are unmuted. Go ahead.
Oh, thought it was something like an introductory to computers and the interfaces that we have to use for the courses.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Learning the interface and majority of the things that you are going to use to complete your assignments, definitely. Megan, go ahead.
Comprehension and understanding of what you see on the internet and how to communicate best with the people online around you.
Beautiful. Yes, comprehension of everything that you see on the internet. I think Natalie agrees with you. She wrote how to read and understand different aspects of the digital media used today. Communication, that is a strong word, but that is key. So brilliant. Awesome. Okay, so it sounds like most of you have a grip of what it is. I'm gonna give you or introduce you to all sorts of tools out there, and the exploration really is sky's the limit. You have a lot of freedom when it comes to how you are going to execute each of these assignments, but you are in a school for creative minds. So although there are standards, there's benchmarks, and there's things that you have to look at and complete in order to really check off everything that is supposed to be required. There are so many things out there that you could use to your advantage to execute any one assignment. Utilizing your creativity, especially right off the bat, is just going to make you that much stronger once you get into your programs. It's something that I love to do. Like it hasn't gone away. As a high school teacher, what I would do is I would make sure that I would do all the projects myself, to make sure that they were actually possible, and I still do that here. And I love to put my own flavor in it. And I heard some of you guys, I've read on the discussion boards and even here, you guys are creative writers. I'm hearing music. I was actually a DJ in my former life, so I'm right there with you. And I just feel like an assignment, however it sounds on paper, it's so much more enriching if you put yourself into it. And that's why for digital identity, my example is using the spoken word. Now, delivery is kind of a question for me. I'm not so great on the delivery, but however, writing is my thing. So if writing's your thing, use it. If music is your thing, use it. If film is your thing, use it. Make sense so far? Cool. Okay, so a course overview. I'm really gonna go quickly through these because it's kind of it's self-explanatory. If you have looked at the interface thus far, then you'll know that all this information is on there. We give you the weight of any assignment. We give you the name of the assignment. It gives you the percentages. You have a tab for your grades. Everything is right there. You even have a grade tracker, which is awesome. That's very brand new for 3.0. So you have 4 assignments altogether. You have 2 that are worth 15% each. You have 2 that are worth 20% each. You have 4 activities. They're 5 points. They're 5% each. And then you have professionalism. I'm just gonna go over professionalism with you, because a lot of people get surprised at what professionalism stands for. And really, it's doing your assignments on time. It's being proactive on the discussion boards. It's communicating well with myself as your instructor, as well as your peers. It's using people's names. It's addressing them. It's making sure that you're alluding to something that they wrote that interests you. So it's communication, really. It's being a well communicator. And of course, if you don't submit an assignment or you submit something late, kind of self-explanatory. So each of you start off with 100%, and you'll start to see that accumulating in your grades. And then the way I work it is, now I've given you the 100%, and it is up to you to maintain that throughout the entire month. Does that make sense so far? Cool. Leroy, do you have a question? Because I see that your hand is up. So let me know. Yes or no. Okay, now, of course you do not have to let me know, but that's not, it's okay. If you are taking DJL the second time around, it's not a bad thing. Do not beat yourself up. The way that I look at it is, you now have an advantage. You also have an opportunity to become a mentor to your peers, since you know some of the way things work, and some of how assignments work, and how instructors, what we require and what we expect. So it's actually, I view it not as a failure, but as an advantage. And hopefully your perspective will change if this is your second time around. However, with that said, there is no recycled work. You cannot use work that you submitted in a prior class or prior months. It has to be brand new. Not to say that you can't use the ideas that you used from previous months. It just has to be reconstructed. There is no extra credit. You'll see how quickly the month goes. Technically, it is 4 weeks, and you have a semester's worth of work in 4 weeks, in a month's time. So it's really, my advice to you is, just be strong in your time management. Things are spread out. And I'm only speaking from experience. I'm not trying to preach to you, but going through the program myself, it really helped me out to go in on Sunday and look everything over and kind of map out what my week is going to be like. And then you have to set aside a couple of hours a night to focus on school. And even if it's not as substantial as you think it could be, just to spend a couple hours on maybe reading posts on the discussion boards, or researching one part of the assignment, or reading the supplemental texts that go along with the assignment. it keeps you connected. It keeps you motivated if you go in each time. Now, since I've been through it, I totally understand. I know we all have families. We probably hold full-time jobs, husbands, wives, kids, dogs, cats, you name it, we all have it. However, you've made the choice to further your education. You've made a commitment, and you kind of have to trick yourself that from a certain amount of time you are coming to campus and you're in class. That means no one can contact you, and that's it. If you want to be successful, you have to have everybody's support and be on board. So communicate to your family, communicate the fact that you're taking this commitment on, and you need their support. So that's my advice to you. Do not email an assignment, which I don't think you guys will have any problems now that the system is upgraded, but all assignments should be submitted through FSO. Now, does FSO work 100% of the time? Not really. That's technology for you. However, we expect you guys to be in contact with us. And if the system goes down, contact support immediately. That way, there's a record that you are taking the initiative to solve the problem. So make sure that you do that. With this new system, I don't foresee many problems. They really have done an awesome job reconfiguring everything. But just to give you a heads up. And really don't procrastinate. If you think that you could wait till the last minute and you're better under pressure, it may not work out for you. Some assignments are more intense than others, and like I said, it will be good for your head, it will be good for your health to take a little bit at a time. I hope that helps. Okay. I mentioned that there is no late work. However, things happen. There are certain circumstances. I will tell you that my policy, especially the first week that you guys are trying to get used to everything, I'm a little bit more lenient when it comes to this. But know that you will be getting points off for turning things in late. You don't want this to be a habit. It may or may not be something that is given as a courtesy down the line in your program. So you don't want to get into the habit, although there are extenuating circumstances. Okay. Okay, for some reason, Firefox is pretty much the best browser. Full Sail Online loves Firefox. So if you haven't downloaded Firefox, I recommend that you do so and access the online platform through Firefox itself. It's very easy. It's free. It's very painless. You won't have to pay for anything. And it's a cute little fox holding the world. How can you go wrong? And that goes with Diigo as well. And I'm going to go into Diigo a bit here in a moment. But Diigo loves Firefox, or even Chrome. Chrome could be another browser that you could think of doing as a backup. Okay, this is a strong tip. Strongly advised. We work hard on the other end of this computer to make sure that all our students are equipped with everything that they need to be successful and to get the grades that they want to get. So, on each assignment, there's instructions, there's a rubric, and sometimes there's a fact sheet. And that's going to give you frequently asked questions or even links to things that might help you out. All these assets are golden to your success. They work hand in hand together, and there are stages, as I'm going to show you when we go over the assignment a little bit. There is meeting the expectations, and there's above and beyond the expectations. So if you just use the instructions and do everything the instructions ask without looking at the rubric, you may get you met the expectations, but it's not going to be an A. If you are looking to achieve a certain grade, you need to look over the rubric. The rubric should be your best friend. It was my best friend going through the program. It's something I used as a checklist, and it really, it's how I walked away with a 4.0. So they're there to help you. Use them. Use them. Okay, submitting a file. Actually, that doesn't apply to you anymore because of the new platform. But these two files up here, what is the problem with it if you send a file to me that looks like this? Does anyone know? What is the problem with a file user or a file local host? Why is that a problem for me as an instructor? Oh wow, did I stump you? So it's a good thing that we are, you know what it do is not sure. Okay, what these files look like is a file that you sent me from your desktop. And it's kind of like a shortcut. And the only person that can access a shortcut or access your desktop is you. I do not have access to your desktops individually. So what I stress is in each of the instructions, it gives a file naming protocol. It's going to tell you exactly how to save your files and what to name them. And it goes by your name and assignment name, and you'll see the naming convention. This is going to be something that's consistent throughout your entire program, and it really is, it's not only for the instructors, but it's for you as well. It organizes your assignments. It makes it very easy to find files. And trust me, once you get further even in this month, I'm going to show you that some of the things that you do in DGL, some of the projects that you do, especially if you're putting your creativity in it, it's going to be something that you want to go back to and either elaborate, improve, or change, incorporate in projects that you do down the line. I usually give the example, because I am a writer, of that rainy day when you have time to like open up a box that you haven't opened up in a while. And because I'm a writer, I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of writing. and it's a rainy day, so I can't do anything or go outside, and I end up sitting on the floor and reading through my notebooks. And one or two things happen. I either shake my head and say, where the heck was I in my life that I wrote this? Or I get inspired to write something even bigger. And it could be just a sentence that I wrote out of a poem or a sentence out of a short story, and it becomes this bigger idea. And cool, Megan, thank you. I have someone with me. I'm not crazy. But that's what I mean by that. Like, if you are organized and you know how to organize yourself, there are things that you are going to go back to. And when you start putting your portfolio together, it's going to be amazing, the things that you're going to think of. And it's a great way that you could find these things and fall back on. Okay, Digo. How many of you guys here have set up your account already? And you can raise your hand. Awesome. Natalie and Ben are on board. Cool. Leroy. Sweet. All right. So this should be. I'll run through the basics, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of what you could do. Okay. So this might look familiar. However, I know that there's updates all the time, so it might look slightly different for you guys. But when you sign up, it was basically these are the tools, okay? And the main thing was this Digolet, or depending on what browser you used, it could be the Digo toolbar. But what the Digolet does is you would move this to your toolbar. Mine's up there already, but you would click and move, and it would appear on your toolbar. This is the little tool when you go and search that's going to help you bookmark, highlight, whatever the assignment calls for. Okay, questions. Corey, you have a question? Hello, Corey. Question?
Hello, no, I didn't have a question. I was just raising my hand to when you said how many people have already submitted their usernames and everything for the program.
Oh, okay. No worries. Thank you.
No problem.
Leroy, is that the case for you too? All right, cool. So what I normally do to demonstrate is I ask my students to come up with, oh, how do you edit a list? Leroy, I'm going to show you. We're going to go through a whole thing on finding a resource, how to set up a list, how to highlight, how to bookmark. I'm going to model that for you right now. Okay, so what I usually do is I ask for a celebrity or a game or a company that you would be interested, and I take the first one, and we use that as the example of using Digo. So whatever comes to mind, give me a concept, give me an actor or an actress, a company. Justin Bieber. You had to go there, Ben. You had to go there. All right. Let's find the Biebs. Okay. So here we go. Justin Bieber in all his glory. And I really can't help, every time I see him now, I really can't help seeing the SNL actress that plays him. And it just cracks me up all the time. Okay, so we have a couple of things going. We have him on Twitter, we have him on Instagram, we have Wikipedia, and we'll go into Wikipedia and credibility of articles. But I'm here to show you that it doesn't mean the first article or the first thing that comes up is not necessarily the best or the strongest source. So I'm trying to I want to give you tips that it pays to look further. And that's really, in essence, what a good researcher does. A good researcher investigates and they look for the best source that they can. Later on this month, I'm going to show you that there are checklists that you could use in order to find out the credibility of a source. But we're just starting, so I think I'm going to go with this article from ABC News. ABC News seems kind of credible, so let's go in there. Okay, love this guy right here, Seth Rogen. Okay, so let's say that we're doing we're doing a report on Justin Bieber, and part of the requirement is to get a direct quote from a celebrity or someone that holds credibility within the article. So you would just go up to your Deaglette and oh wait a minute, I'm in Safari. My bad. I'm sorry about that. I just got finished telling you that Firefox is the it place, and what do? I bring up Safari. Sorry about that. Let's pull it up here. Too many tabs open. That's another tip that I give you. Don't have too many tabs open. It'll confuse you. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. Okay. Okay, so we were talking about how an assignment might, yes, multitasking at its highest. It's actually a fault of mine, Megan. I have to say, it's a fault. Okay, so you come over to the Deaglette, and some of you, depending on what kind of upgrade that you have on Digo, some of you might have this already on your toolbar, and you don't have to press an extra button, but it's all the same thing. So there are several things that you could do. You could highlight, you could bookmark, create a sticky note. You can share, you can go back into your library, and I'm going to show you those functions in a minute. So the first thing that I want to do is highlight my quote. So blue is my favorite color, so I'm going to choose blue, and I'm gonna highlight this quote because Howard Stern is from my home, and he is just amazing. Although he can get very controversial, but we're gonna use this quote. So there we go. I highlighted this information. Now I want this website to appear in my Digo library. So you're gonna go out to bookmark, and a drop-down box is gonna come down. Now I know right here it says add to list, and that's only because I already have a library, but you will not see this at first. It's okay, I'm going to show you what you need to do. But just to go over, the purpose of a bookmark it's going to give the URL of where you got the said article or the information. It's going to give you the title of the article, and you want to make sure that you uncheck private, because if it's checked on private, when I go back into your library, I will not be able to access anything that's in your library. And that kind of stinks, because then I don't really have anything to read. So you want to make sure that you uncheck private. Now, part of the assignment, when we go into it, is one of the requirements is to add tags. The cool thing about Diigo is it has already given you suggestions of tags. So it's kind of a no-brainer. You don't really have to think about it, and you could just click on the tags that you want. Okay? Now, you're finished, and you would save bookmark. Okay? The shortcut to go back into your library is right on the toolbar, and you could go to My Library. Okay? And bam, that's where it shows up, right here. Okay? It indicates that I have a sticky note because I highlighted the quote that I want to use, and it's right there. Now, I'm going to go into what you need for the assignment, and we'll use, even though this is not a vocabulary term, we're going to use this as our example. Yes, I know my battery's low, and that might be a problem. I might have to take you on a trip, but we'll get there. Okay, so here's the instructions. Part of the requirements is that you create a list, and it's asking you to create a list called DGL vocabulary. Okay, so Leroy, this is what I was, this is part of your question. On the left hand side over here, as you can see, it says my list, and I already have one from past, but you would just press on the plus sign, and the name of your list will be DGL vocabulary. Oops. Or vocab. Okay. It's on public. Okay. So you want to make sure that it's on public. And you don't have to add a description. It's not required. So there, create. Okay. So now your list is created. And unfortunately, you have to do one concept before you have that option to add a list. So what we need to do is go back into where we bookmarked our material, then click on bookmark, and now add to a list is going to show up in your drop down box. Just simply go into the drop down box, and it's not there. Okay, if it doesn't show up, just go to the refresh button. Okay, and it should come up. Whoops. Okay, give me a second. I'm getting the Wheel of Death. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, add to list. There it is. DGL vocabulary or vocab. Save bookmark. We go back into the library. Okay, and now if I go into DGL vocabulary, that article will show up. Okay, and then it's going to also show that I made a sticky note and just hit the drop down box. Now the last thing that you need to do. And you'll see this, all the instructions is to add a section, okay? You cannot add a section until you put one concept in your list, okay? And then you have to go into the list, like I showed you. You would have to go into DGL vocabulary, and that's where this button right here is going to show up. So you press add section. Now, the section heading is going to be the concept or the topic. In this case is the topic, but it'll be the concept that you're looking up. So we're going to name this Justin Bieber just because that is the topic at hand. The description when it comes to the assignment is going to be you're going to look at all the references you have for that one concept, all the sites that you bookmarked, and you're going to come up with your own definition based on that. So I'm going to put own definition in here just so the people at home will know this, and you add section. So this is what it's going to look like. And what's going to happen is your final product, let's see, and this is a different section, but your final project is going to be this section. What is your concept? It's going to be your sources, and that's how it's going to look when everything is said and done. So just to go back to the instructions, basically what you need is to look up all the concepts, research sources, and bookmark said sources, and put them into a list called DGL vocabulary. Okay, and let's take a look at the rubric. Now, to meet standards, it says that you will have to do you would have two resources, book for each term. If you want to exceed standards, it's going to be more than 2 terms. Focused highlights, and the fact that we'll get into Wikipedia a little bit later down in this course, but our goal here is for you not to use the first thing that comes up. Most likely, the first thing that comes up for any one of the concepts is going to be the wiki page. And we want you to dig deeper than that. It's part of being that strong researcher that I was talking about. So we want you to dig deeper. We want you to stay away from sources like dictionary.com. We want you to look into like Merriam-Webster or university, any university. So any sites that end in edu. This is going to be researched, supported, credible material. Does that make sense so far? Cool. Okay. So that's really DIGO and the first assignment in a nutshell. I know at first glance it looks very crazy. You're like, oh my god, there's so much that I have to do. But I'm telling you, once you do the first one, it's gonna become so easy. Once you do your first concept, the rest is you're gonna get into a rhythm and you'll be amazed how fast it goes. My suggestion is that you do one concept at a time, and so you do let's bring up the vocabulary list for a second. Activities. Okay. Okay, go into the activity. It's being sensitive. Okay, assignment 1.5. Edit. Okay, so we have the vocabulary list. Okay, so my suggestion is that you take digital literacy and you focus on digital literacy and you make sure you research it, you get your 2 to 3 sources, and you create your section. After that's done, then you go on to digital citizenship and get all your sources, create your section, and move on to the next. Not that you can't move things around Diigo. It's easy that you can do that, but it may get you very overwhelmed by moving things around. So I highly suggest that you take one concept at a time. Okay? And the very last thing, my god, that face just cracks me up. The very last thing that you have to do is take the concepts and apply them into writing well-written statements. You can make them into a poem. You can make them into a song. You could write a short story. The goal there is to give us an indication that you know how to apply these concepts, you understand what they mean, and you could use them in well-written sentences. And that's really it. That's the entire assignment. With that said, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Do you have any questions for me? Any questions about the assignment? Any questions about Diigo? Any questions about the platform? No? Does that mean that I've done an outstanding job this afternoon and you guys have everything that you need and there is no questions at all? Okay, cool. Everything's clear. Leroy asked for digital identity. Where is that posted? Digital identity is actually a discussion board, and I can go into that right now for you. Now, mind you, this is my side of things, so it might look a little bit different. But you would go into your digital identity. And simply, you wouldn't be doing this. You would just click on into your assignment. Okay. So, it gives you, no, that is 1.5 assignment. Excuse me. Okay. Here we go. All right. So it's gonna look, I'm losing power. Okay, so it's going to be a class discussion like this. You're going to see your post, and that's where you post to the discussion board directly. Just let you know, because I am running out of power and I can't believe it because I was fully charged, that the initial post is due by tomorrow night, 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. And Yes, it is in the correct place, Leroy. I see your name right up there. I'm actually looking very forward to, after this, looking that up. Okay, so this session has been recorded. Right when we get off of here, I'm going to render the video. I have to publish it, and then I'll be sending it out. So, just quickly, tomorrow I have another lab session. It's called the Twitter Challenge. This is not mandatory. However, it is an experiment that I'm doing with my classes for this month. If you are up for the challenge, I would love to have you guys there. It's also going to be recorded, so if you can't make it live, you could always watch the session at a later time and then email me if you have any questions on that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be tracking everything. Twitter is actually really, really cool. And I'm just starting to get into it. So if you want a challenge, come and see me tomorrow. Do we have any other questions before I lose power? And I'm sorry about that, however. Okay, awesome. Megan, always, if you think about it, email me. Send me a notification on the platform. Awesome. I want to thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. It was so nice to meet you. I love hearing your voices. I guess because I'm running out of power, I can't show you my face yet. But next time I'll share screens and I'll show you that I am human. I have flesh, and I'm not just a computer talking to you. It definitely has been a pleasure, and just hit me up on anything. iChat, use my contact information, see me on the discussion boards, and I'll be more than happy to help you. I'm really excited about this month, and just stay connected and make it contagious. Talk about the live sessions on the discussion board and get people to want to come. So cool. Enjoy the rest of this. Well, I don't actually know. I know that it's beautiful here, but enjoy the beautiful day. Oh, my pleasure, Leroy. That's what I'm here for. Well, you guys have a great day and let me know. Going to sleep. Well, sweet dreams, Leroy. I'll see you guys soon.